My name is Professor Jeff Shields. I'm a member of the Management Accounting Department. I teach accounting in the department. And with me today is a graduating senior. Congratulations for that. Grace Kirk, who's a math major and an accounting major, a double major. And she's accepted a position with Ernst & Young. And with that, I'm going to ask Grace some questions today. So, Grace, the first question. What attracted you to major in accounting? We won't talk about math, but accounting.
Well, when I first came to UNC Asheville, and even when I was just looking at schools, I had no idea what I wanted to do or what I wanted to major in. And so the biggest thing that attracted me to accounting was really the versatility of it. There are so many different avenues you could go. As far as, if I wanted to open up my own small business or work with a not-for-profit or, go with a bigger company, accounting was something that could get me into so many different avenues. And so that was really attractive to me as I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
Kind of the normal new student experience.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So what did you enjoy most about your experience as an accounting major?
I think one of the greatest experiences that I've had is really just getting to know different people within the department. The friendships that I've built within the department are some of the strongest friendships that I've built during my time here at UNCA. And I've really enjoyed the classes and really enjoyed getting to know the professors as well.
And you've been participating, I'm going to throw you a loop here. You've been participating in the Accountancy Association.
I have.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm the vice president of the Accountancy Association. So that's another great way to just get to know other accounting students and get to, plan different events to, really get to know different aspects of accounting, planning these grad school events or CPA panels, and so getting to know other people within the field in different areas, but also just, getting to grow these friendships within the department. We're a pretty tight-knit group, I would say, so that's been a really fun experience.
Yes, I've seen groups of students walk between classes and I go, oh, there goes the accounting group.
Yep.
So how did you end up interviewing with Ernst & Young? What was that process? How did that evolve?
So that was something that I honestly didn't even expect to happen. A recruiter reached out to me through Handshake, which that in and of itself was a surprise for me. I kind of assumed Handshake was more for like on-campus jobs or local opportunities, and so for someone from Ernst & Young to message me on there, that was really shocking or exciting. But she wanted to set up a phone conversation with me, and so she called and we talked about, what my plans for the future were when I was graduating, what I wanted to do, and so just kind of talked about like if anything at Ernst & Young would be a good fit for me. And so I had mentioned Charlotte as a possible location, and she said that they were having their final round of interviews coming up soon, so if that was the place that I wanted to be, that we'd have to, get right on that and get my applications in. And so within 24 hours, I submitted an application, and they sent me a link to a video interview. And so I did the video interview with them, recorded responses to questions and sent it to them. And then a couple weeks later, I was invited to Charlotte's final round of interviews at their Charlotte location. So,
how many people were in the interview, actual interview?
As far as people, like students who were interviewed?
No, the interviewers.
The interviewers. So the interview consisted of 3 different parts. Each section was just me and one other person, but there were 2 behavioral interviews and then a case study interview. And so the behavioral interviews were more laid back and, getting to know me, getting to know if I would be a good fit for the company, stuff like that. And then the case interview was them asking me a bunch of business-related questions. And so that was a little more intimidating. Didn't really know what to expect going into that, but obviously it worked out, so.
It helped to have taken some management classes along the way.
Oh, absolutely. That it did, especially our Capstone Management 480, the strategic management class. That was probably the biggest helper in getting me prepared for that section of the interview.
Cool, cool. So what did you learn having gone through the interview process?
I'd say I learned a lot about confidence and just being myself and, you know, letting my accomplishments speak for themselves, but just being confident in who I am, and knowing going into said interviews, you know, the best advice you always have is to just be yourself and not try to put forward the person that you think they want to see, but they really want to know you. And so I learned a lot about just, you know, embracing who I am. So,
That makes it a little bit easier than trying to pretend something, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So you accepted a job, and what will your new title be at the?
So I will be a staff member in Ernst & Young's Risk Advisory Program.
In Charlotte, correct?
Yes, in Charlotte.
So you got the location you wanted.
Yes.
Very cool. When do you start?
We're negotiating a start date, but it'll be sometime this upcoming summer.
And you intend to spend the time between now and then doing what? December grad and
Right. So I have a few months off. My plan right now is to go ahead and start studying for and sitting for parts of the CPA exam. They'd like for me to have that certification within my first year of working there. And so if I can knock some of that out before I start working full time, that would be wonderful.
so down the road, what opportunities could you or do you plan to pursue at Ernst & Young?
I think the thing that excites me the most about Ernst & Young is the fact that it is a global company. And so I really would love to be able to travel to their, you know, offices worldwide, and get to explore different, you know, travel opportunities, making connections, and, you know, maybe one day working in another location outside of Charlotte, you know, getting outside of the state, getting outside of the country. And so that really excites me about working with them.
What country would you have in mind if you had to pick one?
Well, I have been to Dublin, Ireland, and so I would love to go back there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have of students thinking about majoring in accounting?
I think the biggest piece of advice I would say is don't be intimidated by intermediate accounting. Those are hard classes and they're a lot of work, but once you get through the other side of that, so many opportunities open up and it's so worth it. And with that, you know, build relationships within the department. Find those people who you're going to study with and who you're going to go through these classes with. Because especially with accounting, I've found that people, you know, you move in groups. The people who you're an intermediate with, you tend to have some of those higher level courses with. And so, you know, you're seeing these people like every semester, every year. So really get to like build those friendships and take full advantage of that.
Well, I want to thank you for spending the time and doing this. And
Thank you.
again, congrats twice over being a graduate and having a job.
Thank you.
Your parents must be very proud.
Oh, they are. They're very excited.
Okay, with that, I think we'll call it an end. Thank you.
Thanks.